I'm live. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Old Man Reaper, the Patriot Cowboy from the Patriot Cowboy Coffee Time Show. Today we will be talking about the international boycott that has basically gone viral in multiple countries. Y'all please just hold on just a few minutes. We're going to let the numbers kind of build up. And be sure you share in all your groups because, as you know, Facebook, we wouldn't want to say that on there, has decided that we shouldn't get this information out because we're boycotting BlackRock, Vanguard, and multiple sister corporations from January the 9th till January the 13th. So y'all please stay tuned. Come join this video.
Like my beloved country, each nation represented in this hall has a cherished history, culture, and heritage that is worth defending and celebrating. Each nation represented has a cherished history, culture, and heritage that is worth defending and celebrating, and which gives us our singular potential and strength. The truth is plain to see. If you want freedom, take pride in your country. If you want democracy, hold on to your sovereignty. And if you want peace, love your nation. The future does not belong to globalists. The future belongs to patriots.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same. And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like when men were free.
Amen. Hey, everybody, how you doing this morning? It is Old Man Reaper, the Patriot Cowboy Coffee Time Show. This morning, we got a lot to talk about, okay? As you know, we did an event in Hartsville, Tennessee, which was called American Stands as One, Crushing the Narrative, with my co-host, Militia Morgan. This, however, the name is quite a bit the same. It's not exactly the same. I come up with an ideal. I'll tell you how this all started. I come up with an ideal after seeing my countrymen suffer, my children suffer, your children suffering, going to the grocery store. This actually started, I went to ring up my groceries. I had 18 pack of eggs that were at a little bit around $8. It hit me. It hit me hard. And I remembered on February the 23rd, a gentleman by the name of Chris Hill, who attached with other people such as Marjorie Green and some other folks. I don't think she actually ever showed up. I don't remember. It didn't go over quite well. It wasn't because of the intention or any individual. It was probably more than anything else the time frame in which it was put together. However, he called on a national event to take place at every state capitol at the exact same time for the purpose of signing a petition for redress grievance. Well, in the furtherance, as you know, a lot of times things like that just didn't get out quick enough. However, so I decided basically to come back with more or less the same ideal. Except I was going to ask for a 5-day sit down and strike, much like the convoys that took place in Canada and the American-Canada connections, along with the ideal of what was already taking place on the Blue Water Bridge. However, considering the time frame again, we built a team of individuals you're quite familiar with. our main promotional organizer and assistant director to our board, Ms. Karen Collins. Also, Mr. AJ Andrews, who is the director of our board, and of course our international liaison, Miss Cherise Moore, and we got, of course, Militia Morgan. We've connected with Little Wolverine out of Canada, Elliot McDavid, and multiple other individuals. Then we have our more tactical side, and I use the word tactical, which means strategic, having a plan, whatever. Under Miss Ann Constant Cujo, we have our secretary, of course, which is Rose Reed. So, with this being said, over the period of the last 3 weeks, we come up with an ideal, basically, which revolves around the best solution for the well-being protection of us as individuals who are sick and tired of being sick and tired, our blue-collar Americans, our blue-collar international workers, so on and so forth, to boycott. And everybody goes, well, who are you boycotting? First, it was like, we're just going to, don't buy nothing for 5 days. Well, let's be realistic. There's people with children. When you got children, you never know what's going to happen. Then there's, that situation. Let's say we're involved with a lot of convoys. You got truckers who use, what's it called? Oh my goodness, I forgot. Congo or something in that order. If I say that wrong, truckers, I apologize. But a lot of these this is how they get the fuel. They don't have no choice, which tie into BlackRock owned businesses. Well, that's just what we're going to have to do considering that situation. Now, we have complied a sister list of groups that are connected to BlackRock and Vanguard. Okay. And there's another company, but I have the whole sister list. You can probably find it on my wall. What's going to take place is for this 5-day period, we are asking every individual, you don't have to leave home. You don't have to miss work. How many events have you ever put out where it's like, man, I really want to be involved in this, but how do I get involved? I mean, what do I do? I mean, I got to be at work on Friday. Let's do this on Saturday. Well, you can't do it on Saturday. Because if you do it on Saturday, you're talking to a building at a state capitol building or, whatever. You get the point, because they take the weekends off too. Of course, they've been taking a few years off, obviously, on the backs of us. But this is our point. By doing this, you go to work. You take care of your family. You do what you have to do. If you have to purchase, and if you got kids, you're going to, or elderly who need medication, you're going to have to do what you have to do. So to keep this where we can still live, especially in emergency situations, we designed a way to support local businesses. In other words, go to your mom and pop shops, go to the little privately owned businesses in your home, in your towns. Support them. Support small business. Okay. Also, if you got to buy gas, do the same thing. Another thing, use cash only. We're really lucky to have Miss Cherise Moore, who is so busy. She's done so much throughout the year, and her ideals are brilliant. And this basically is what she formulated, her basic opinions on this, and I'm running with it because it's brilliant. It really is. So use only cash. Don't use your debit cards, because when you use your debit card, you're still supporting companies like JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, who are all tied directly to BlackRock. It's pretty easy. I mean, I could post the sister list to Vanguard, Vanguard, and BlackRock, but if you can see it, they own it. Just about, pretty much so. We're talking CVS, Johnson & Johnson, my goodness, Citco, Chevron, Exxon Mobil, multiple cellular phone companies, and the list goes. Walmart. Oh Lord, now that's what's going to hurt America. We're going to have to We're going to have to stay away from Wally World. We're going to have to, maybe you will pay a little more. But we're talking about freedom. We're talking about companies that even so much as offer small business help, quote unquote. Well, what do you see when corporation gets involved in your small businesses? Well, if you're not doing too much, you're all right. But if you become successful or come up with a great idea, what's the next thing you know? They're the ones who got a legal document on your table, or they're deciding, hey, we're going to figure out a way to push them out. What they call that, aggressive takeovers. You see, for far too long, we've been fighting our governments, but let's get to the real issue. The policies that our governments are creating are policies, and more so in America, but they are policies designed around the elite rich getting richer. They are policies, okay, well, you vote for this and we'll pay you this. It's not a decision based on morals and values or the best interests of the people who are waking up every day and going to work and having to put gas in their car, who are literally the backbone of every major corporation in the world, because without us, they don't work. Without us, they don't get rich. Without us, they don't get no products. And that's what these people have forgotten. These CEOs sitting up there in their high-rise penthouse with their strippers and dark moral values, hanging out with their Cuban cigars and their champagnes, kicking it in life so easy. They've forgotten that it's easy because they've been robbing us for so many years. This is where we say no more. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it. When they lobby your government, and I don't care what country you're in, when you see laws that are designed for them to be immune to, but yet you're not, when the same law affects you in your home, your finances, and even your freedoms, but yet not them. Friends, that is the perfect definition of tyranny. When they remain armed, and yet you can't even defend your house. You remain defenseless. They want to disarm you, but yet they remain armed. That's tyranny. With that pause, I wanted that to sink in. Why this is so important. We expect a result from the 9th to the 13th. But the largest result is we expect people to see what we are trying to accomplish and become part of what we are going to do in the furtherance. I have made an executive decision, being the founder of the World Stands as One against government overreach, that after the 13th, we will put out petitions and protest and interlink internationally, creating groups internationally with respected leaders. And I use the word leaders loosely, people that are well known and trusted among the people. I guess that'd be the best way to put it, to create an international council of freedom fighters. I would expect to see a much longer lasting boycott, because what happens when we support our local businesses? They begin to grow. What happens when we buy locally? It begins to increase the methods for people like me and you to capitalize financially, in decreasing inflations, and basically having a say-so. Because how do you get power in these countries that we live in? What do they consider power? If you got a few $100s in the bank, and that's a metaphor. If you got some two nickels to rub together, then you're somebody. You got a voice because somebody wants those two nickels. You know, invest those two nickels in me and I'll hear what you got to say. You see, it creates a lobbying position for local Patriot run mom and paw shops in your community. Not only that, it gives them the ability to stand stronger against corrupt corporations. And also, a 2-day serious international boycott will affect the supply chain. Definitely. A 5-day international boycott will affect the stock market. You see what happens. What you know how the stock market works. If you don't, it's very simple. You buy low, you sell high. This is what we're trying to live. We're playing an international game of Monopoly. It's very simple. It really is. If you have never played Monopoly, basically, I'll explain it. I'm sure everybody has, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's a game that's got all these little properties around it. You got X amount of dollars. Of course, you got these little defaults on the sides. You know, you got community chest, and then you got, oh crap, I forgot the name. Chance, I guess. I don't remember what the other deck of cards are called. And around this board are properties, and each one of these properties have a different value considering the neighborhood, so to speak. Okay, but there's these two on the side of purple. And they're the low end property. We're gonna call them the hood, you know, call it whatever, the bad side of town. Okay. And it's on this corner of the board. All the way around this board, you got Park Place, you got Boardwalk. Now we're talking the elitist property here, you know, and they own it. And not only do they own that, they own everything else that's of any value. So you got $1,500 in cash, so to speak. You got these two pieces of property. Now you've managed to put you some motels on it. Okay. Basically, that's what you're doing by supporting your local communities. You're building a commercial piece of property in your communities, just like you do on Monopoly. Okay, they own Boardwalk and Park Place. Great, fine. And yours is just a low value little community, but now you have improved your communities, your states, your countries, your area, your town by supporting local businesses through the boycott. You see, they've monopolized. So what you have to do is we got to continue to roll the dice without landing on them until we force them into a position that they begin to sell off some of their companies because they're failing. They're failing. They get the stock market exchange. They're losing money. Stock market. What I say, the stock market was the stock markets are highs and lows. You buy low, you sell high. So if we affect their stock markets and they begin to see a loss in stock in our companies because all these local communities are being supported internationally, guess what they do to those? They sell them. Well, guess who's got the money to buy them? What happens if you levy the money? Guess what? If you start putting that money in that pocket, that means you got that voice. You got the ear of that politician. That means we, the people internationally, take back what rightfully belongs to us by any means necessary. This is a very serious thing that we are doing, but it's very legal. For far too long, we have worked in corporate sweatshops. You can step out your front door and see what's owned by BlackRock and by Vanguard. South Africa has been in our Zooms. Germany's been in our Zooms. The Netherlands has been in our Zooms. We talked to Australia, Jamaica, Brazil. We're still working on multiple connections. Americans, I'm throwing this one at you. You got more responsibility than anybody else. Because if we fall, the world falls. If we had a quarter, hell, an eighth of the patriotism and communion among patriots and their native people, as Canada has, we can make some hellacious changes. Now, I'm going to be real serious here for a minute. You're going to pay a little bit more money. Okay. But that's okay, because the long-term outcome is going to be in your favor. It's going to be in your children's favor in the future. And when you get to the box, the rocks in the box, they ain't coming for you, brother. You ain't nothing but a block. You're a rock or a tree stump, something that's in their way, and they're looking for a grinder to cut you down. You gonna let that happen? We, the people, internationally, are fed up. And we have a power that we have forgotten. We've managed to water down who we really are and the control and power that we really have. It's really simple. They don't get that burger cooked at McDonald's without a cook. They don't get that car part shipped without a truck driver to drive that truck. But here's the big deal. They can ship it anywhere in the country and make it all day and all night. It ain't worth a crap if someone ain't buying it. I could be Walmart, the largest franchise super center for multiple items such as groceries, electronics, fishing pole, you name it. They can have warehouses 250,000 miles long. Guess how quick they'll go out of business if you quit supporting it. Guess how quick BlackRock will turn their back on them and all their billions of dollars. Same way with CVS. Same way with JP Morgan, Wells Fargo. The people of America need to realize that by us communing and coming together in a stand of unity as one international program, as one national group of freedom fighters, the world stands as one against government overreach and corporate elitists, is now officially a movement, an international coalition of freedom fighters. That logo on the far corner over there on the right is a logo that was built, it was made by Ron Clark and his wife. His wife made it. If you don't know who Ron Clark is, go check him out. Brilliant man, humble man, very likable man. And on February the 17th, another convoy. I'm not allowed, I'm not allowed, I'm not going to put any specifics out on the locations. Go see his videos. They're running a program called the Bear Hug. Y'all go check out the Bear Hug. If you get across the border, you're across that border, these guys are patriots. And not only that, the indigenous people of Canada are coming together, the warriors, the Mohawks, and so on and so forth. Americans, we need to do the same. We need to cross those lines and narratives that have been so indoctrinated and planted and embedded into us that we're different because of the color of our skin, because of the religion we believe, or the no religion, or even our sexuality. America is a melting pot of people who all beliefs, all customs, and hey, even sexualities. And in America, you have the right to do that. Now, there is a far cry difference when your beliefs affect my privacies, my beliefs, my homes, my schools, and my children. But at the end of the day, you have to answer for your own sins. And who am I to judge? Because when it gets down to the brass tacks, the straw that breaks the camel's back, We all care about one thing, and that's our kids. We care about their future. And I assure you, without a shadow of a doubt, what you do today and tomorrow and here on out will determine what our children grow up to be. So the rose-colored glasses, the blinders that we wear because we don't want to associate, we don't want to be attached to, or, you know what, guy, you're not that important. I mean, you are. But, you know, the color of skin don't rub off when you touch them. You know, color of my skin don't rub off when you touch me. My religion is mine. I have a personal relationship with the God that I trust and believe in, who happens to be, you know, the Tetragrammaton, Jehovah, God Almighty, and Christ. You may be Jewish. You may be Islamic. You know, I have my opinions in the indifferences. But if your child was drowning, I'd sacrifice my life to save your child. And I honestly believe you do the same. Gay, straight, black, white, Canada, America, Brazil, America, whatever. And this is where we need to place our stand grounds, because we're truly responsible. It's not just a bunch of really pretty words to inspire you. We are most definitely responsible. And I promise you, Trump is not going to come flying out of the air with his red and blue cape, his big ST on the front, Super Trump, you know, and save the world. It's not going to happen. You're responsible for saving the world. And you don't have to get your guns out and go to war. There's a way to do this. The world is run by elitists. It's ran by organizations. It's ran by pretty much about 13, 14 people. And their money. That's it. Their money. How do you beat them? You affect their money. You take back what belongs to you, because you know who they're getting rich off? You. They give you all these conveniences. They give you Walmart. They give you McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's and all these really cool smart toys and blah, 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 blah. They give them to you, first of all, to keep you occupied. Then they give you these badass TVs operated by their satellites and give you programming that says you don't like each other. That's a bad and that's good. Don't take the shot, take the shot. Better stock up on toilet paper. President Trump is a racist. Joe Biden is a hero. Obey, obey, obey. And then they send your kids to school and they sexually program them. You know, gays think that this is their right. This is cool, man. We're standing up for, we're finally going to be able to be part of society. We've been picked on. No, they're picking on you. They're making fun of you. They're using you. Their bigotry is bigger than the ones who are standing against your drag queen story hour. They're putting you in there so you can sexualize and feminize children so they will never stand up for anything. So they're so massively confused and worried about their sexual orientation that they don't see the treasonous indoctrination and crimes against humanity taking place right in front of their eyes. And they're laughing at you because you do it thinking that you won something. And all they did, just like their little dogs in our homes, is give you a little doggy treat and watch you roll over and play dead. Let's get real about it. BLM, same thing. What is the most passionate thing among African American people? What took place? What with the black eye on America, especially more so on the South, which was slavery. Horrible thing. Nobody should ever be a slave. But then again, every race has been in one time or another. But it doesn't take away the fact of cruelty and the thing that your ancestors went through. But then again, it was 400 years ago. And we have evolved. We've had great leaders and civil rights activists such as Dr. Martin Luther King, who has made permanent change by non-aggression methods. But they because they need that black vote, all of a sudden Black Lives Matters every 4 years. Antifa, you're out here waving your flags and just off the wall crap that's not even logical. And you think you're somebody because you have no self-identification because you've been raised in a school that has indoctrinated you to be nothing but a robot. Don't you ever challenge authority. So you have this rebellious nature because you don't know who the hell you are, and you think that you joined something, and now you're somebody. So you're running around. Hey, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is linked to www.antifa.com during their voting session. Guess what? You matter once every 4 years. You're puppets, patriots, same thing. So they let BLM burn flags and Antifa burn flags, flip cars, loot buildings, blah, blah, blah. Let them get away with it with leading to the law. Then you hit the chads and all this other stuff. What do you do? Oh, man, them sons of a... Guess what happens? The whole world's concentrating on one another, and here's a group of politicians and corporations putting their hands in your back pocket, taking money out while you're fighting. Not just money, attacking the minds and bodies and spirits and souls of innocent children. Because these schools go around, they take federal handouts, take federal money. Oh, we need a raise. We need better books. We need this. No, you need to learn how to really teach. You need to learn how to give some morals and some values into our families, into our children. You don't need to program them to think, oh, if you say it's right, obey, obey. You instill a form of discipline. You take the handcuffs off of parents. You think this wasn't a plan? Here comes Child Protective Services. Protective, what a freaking joke. Because 52% of children that go into foster care systems are beaten, raped, molested, sold into child pornography. It's protection? Protecting what? You? And all these programs are designed to keep you at odds. They teach your children to hate you and attack you. They teach them to be passionate. They teach them to be sexually confused, having zero identity. That way, when something minor comes along, like activism, it's, oh, I can be a hero. Don't know that I'm supporting a demon or acts or laws that murder innocent babies up to 9 months. You know, hey, I can get a kid being raped or a woman being abused and being traumatized, that they may want to get an abortion. You know, if that was to happen to me, and I put myself, if it was to happen to me, I would definitely be on the fence about it, especially, but the first thing I do is find out if I conceived. And then the minute I found out I conceived, I'd find out what day, the earliest thing. And then there would be that other option, which would be that there's families everywhere who want to buy a baby so bad, who want children, who their marriage is just ups and downs of emotional race because they can't have a kid. But I damn sure wouldn't wait 9 months. Well, just get it. Why? Because guess what else you just supported? You supported cartels. You supported drugs. You supported organ harvesting is what you just did. I'm not talking about on the quote unquote legal markets. I'm talking about black shot, $22,000 a brain. You know, hey, it's real. And all these things are possible because we forgot who the hell we are. We never needed electricity given to us by some corporate company. We never needed water given to us by the city or the county. We never needed Walmart or anything else to survive. We just needed each other. We needed some dirt, a cow, a chicken, some eggs, and a little bit of backbreaking work. Something to stand up for and be proud of. How many times in your life have you made your child earn something? You can go give them every toy on the shelf, and the odds of that toy surviving a month are next to none. But you can make him mow that lawn or pull weeds. Have you ever had to pull weeds? Or whatever it is, and they earn it. They may take that sucker to adulthood. And we're the same way. We're the same way. All these things were given to us to take away everything that we've earned. It's a robbery. That's what it really is. It's a straight robbery. They get richer, we get poorer. When we get poor, we get dependent on the rich government. Well, the rich are basically your government because they have the power of government, because the people sitting in office as politicians are getting rich off being a politician by accepting lobbyist money or under the table deals. So it's a big catch-22. You want to take back control, you want real freedom, follow suit with this boycott. It's not going to stop at 13. We're not going to stop until it's done, until we can sit at our table and say, you know what? My children are learning something. They're having some values. Things have come so much further. Our community is blossoming. Our local businesses, the small business, man, it's a good time to invest in a small business. That's our job. That's what we do. God bless y'all. Please share this video. Have a wonderful day. Amen.